Recording in progress.
Good morning, honorable members of the Portfolio Committee of Health. Morning to our parliamentary staff and to other people who have logged into this meeting. Good morning. I welcome you, and we will deal with the attendance register by our secretary at a particular time. I welcome you for all those who have logged into this virtual meeting. Before we proceed, I would like to remind you that this virtual meeting is deemed to be in the precinct of the Parliament and therefore constitutes a meeting of the National Assembly for official purposes. In addition to the rules of virtual sitting, the rules of the National Assembly, including the rules of the
allegations that Mkhize signed off on the 150 million rand.
We missed you there, Chair. We couldn't hear you for the past 10 seconds.
In addition to the rules of the virtual sitting, the rules of the National Assembly, including the rules of debate, apply. Members enjoy the same powers and privileges that apply in a sitting of the National Assembly. Members should equally note that anything said in the virtual platform is deemed to have been said to the House and may be ruled upon. All members who have logged in shall be considered to be present and are requested to mute their microphones, including those who have joined the platform and are not Portfolio Committee members who have logged in and started not to mute their phones. And hence I got that bit of a disturbance was when that person unmuted his or her gadget, then it muted me. The microphones are actually very sensitive, and we need to actually unmute only when recognized to speak. It's so sensitive that it will pick up any noise which might disturb the attendance of other members. When members are recognized to speak, please unmute then your microphone and connect your video. Members may make use of the icons on the bar at the bottom of their screens, which is an option that allows a member to put up his or her hand to raise points of order. The secretary will assist in alerting the chairperson to members requesting to speak. When using the virtual system, members are urged to refrain from or desist from unnecessary points of order or interjections. We shall now proceed with the business of the day. And I would like the Secretariat to indicate the members who have logged in, and apologies if there are, then flight the agenda thereafter of the item that we are meeting here for. Thank you.
Good morning and thank you, Chair. Present is Dr. Dlomo, Mr. Munyai, Ms. Keller, Mr. Sokacha, Dr. Jacobs, Dr. Harvard, Ms. Kwahube, Ms. Wilson, Ms. Ishmael, Dr. Tembe Kwayo, Ms. Lengwa, Mr. Van Staden. I haven't received any apologies, Chair. Thank you.
Okay, can you then flight our agenda item, ma'am? Right. We are now going to get to item number 4, confirmation of attendance by the Ministry, Department of Health, and then go to number 5, immediately thereafter, briefing by Department of Health on the investigations to the awarding of the Digital Vibes contract, process followed and actions taken thus far. Let me then upfront indicate to you that I have been in touch with the Minister. I last spoke to the Minister last night, and he indicated to me that he has been advised that because of this investigation in his department that also involves or touching his name, he has been advised that legally it is not a correct thing to then be the one leading the delegation to brief us. And I therefore accepted and respected that, and therefore said then we will have the DG leading the delegation to explain and take us through this report. Let me then recognize the DG to then give us that response to confirm if what actually I'm saying is what also has been mandated to. The Minister is unable to be here, legally advised, because the process is an investigation in the department that also touches the Minister's name. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, I have something to raise before the DG present. If you allow me, please.
Honorable Munyai.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. The Honorable Chairperson, from the ANC point of view, we are of the view, Honorable Chair, that one, that this matter since it reported before the Court of Law by the Democratic Alliance, Honorable Kwahube, therefore it is sub judice. So and also the DG is a factor in the case being reported within the Court of Law with the case opened up in Cape Town Police Station. And also the other factor that is key is that the report, so far as the SIU, is inconclusive. And the minister or the ministry cannot come and report on the matter that's inconclusive of investigation by the SIU, because the SIU report before the president. That will be my submission thus far, because it is not only the minister that's been reported before the police station in Cape Town by the Democratic Alliance. It is also the Director General, which means, you know, what the Director General may say, it may be used against him in the Court of Law. That is the view from the ANC point of view. Thank you.
Look, I don't know whether the Director General will not be circumspect and indicate that issue in the presentation. But can I check if the Deputy Director General has that fear or concerns raised by Honorable Munyai? Dr. Buthelezi, are you in the platform?
It does not seem like he's on the platform, Chair.
Yeah.
Chairperson,
Is that Honorable Kwahube?
that's
Yeah.
correct.
Yes, let me recognize you.
Thank you so much. Chairperson, I mean, I hear what Honorable Munyai has said, but a number of things I think are quite important to note here. Matters are sub judice when they're before a court of law. This matter is not before a court of law. This matter is being investigated by the South African Police Service, and it's being investigated by this special investigative unit. Those two things are not a court of law, and the rule of being sub judice only relates to a matter being in front of a court of law. That's the first thing, and I think it's a technical matter that needs to be noted very carefully. Secondly, Chairperson, there's a number of issues here in that despite the news reports around this matter around Digital Vibes, there's also a report that was done by an entity within the department. There is also a legal opinion that was obtained by the DG regarding the appropriateness of the minister signing that contract, if that indeed has happened. And also there's been a declaration by the Auditor General around the irregularity of this contract. Based on those things alone, we're not discussing here the outcomes of the SIU. We are here discussing the outcomes that have now come to light that the department is in possession of. So it would be improper to say that this matter has not been concluded. The SIU and the SAPS case are a separate issue from what we are discussing here. Here today, we are discussing what the department has revealed thus far, and also what the DG can tell us about the status of the investigations internal in the department. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was also still checking on the platform if the DG is logged in. But my understanding, yes, was that he will accept that the minister will not join this meeting. And then the DG will actually indicate and actually highlight those things. Because last week there was a media brief where the minister was actually alluding to the report. And therefore, that is the part that we wanted the DG to actually take us through. May I check if the other officials of the department who are logged in here are able to assist us to locate the DG? Let me take the following hands. The one that came first was in this order. Honorable, this one came. Honorable Van Staden was number 1. Honorable Chirwa 2. Honorable Evelyn 3, Honorable Munyai 4, Honorable Dr. Susan 5. In that order.
Thank you, Chairperson. Sorry for not showing my video. I'm in Parliament and the signal was not very good here this morning. I think I want to join Member Khwarube. She's quite right in what she's saying, according to the SIU and SAPS, and that the case is not before the court of law, so we can still discuss it. We must get a view from the Director General to be informed by him this morning of what is the newest information regarding the case and what is, if I can put it like this, the flow of the case and what is happening next. And I think also I want to put a suggestion on the table this morning, but the legal department must provide us with a way forward if there is not consensus in this meeting this morning. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Before you come in, Honorable Chirwa, can Ms. Majalamba check if we do have someone that I could speak to while the meeting is going on legally to advise us on that part? Honorable Chirwa.
Thank you, Chairperson. Firstly, I feel like there's a kind of dishonesty in this meeting and how we are having it, because last year already we had already called for the minister to resign, first of all, and part of the reasons why he said he did not want to resign or could not resign was because there was no link between him and the corruption regards to Digital Vibes, right? And so it becomes important for us to discuss any report pertaining to the matter of corruption. We've done so countless of times in this portfolio committee in relation to corruption in other cases, in other provinces, in entities and so on and so forth. Now that it pertains to the Minister of Health, then people can no longer do their jobs. It can't be something that we condone in this portfolio committee. The DG must be able to explain or to, in the very least, engage as the DG of Health. And we cannot all now be put at ransom or held at ransom and not be able to do our jobs. The rest of us, all of us, the portfolio committee now cannot perform its duties. The DG can't perform its duties just because one minister, Minister Zweli Mkhize, is in a whole dungeon pertaining to corruption. It cannot be the case. We must continue. And then if the minister and the DG wants to protect the minister, they must both just vacate office, because now the country cannot be held at ransom because two people don't want to entangle themselves in lies, which they've already done beforehand, and we've called it out as well, of mistruths and misleading the portfolio committee. This thing must be engaged. It's not in a court of law. And so even the excuse that you are awaiting an SIU report, why did you not await the SIU report from the very first time it was reported? Why were you able to answer questions in the portfolio committee regarding to other things that were being investigated by the SIU? Why is it today that principle must change just to cushion your silence, just to cushion your inactivity in this whole conversation? It must not be condoned in this portfolio committee because it has never been condoned before, and it must not start now just because the person at hand is Minister Zweli Mkhize. He's not special, and if they're not doing us a favor by engaging this particular thing, they are obliged to, they are obligated to respond to the question of the portfolio committee, unless maybe it is in a court of law. It is not in a court of law. So it does not hold water to want to jump around and tiptoe around what is supposed to be engaged on. These are matters of national importance. People want to know, we want to know. And part of our duty as members of parliament is to hold the executive accountable, is to ensure that all the things that are happening in the departments that we are overseeing are done correctly, which has not been the case. And this portfolio committee oversees those things. So can I just ask that we move in a fashion that we've always been able to move in as this particular portfolio committee, and not have a bias because of the political parties we belong to and all of that. We have a duty to do as this portfolio committee, and we cannot not do our duty just because the DG doesn't want to do his duty. It's not something that we must ever condone in this portfolio committee. Thank you, Chairperson.
No, yeah, Honorable Chiro, I'm still awaiting someone in the department to indicate that the DG is able to join us. The next hand is going to be is it Evelyn?
You said I'm number 4.
We are now dealing with number 3.
Okay. Number 3.
Chairperson, Honorable Wilson. Chairperson, let's go right back to where you started at your introduction of this meeting. You advised that you had spoken to the minister, and the minister, on legal opinion, felt that it was not appropriate for him to address this meeting today, and that rather the DG should be required to do it. That was your introduction. You did not say to us that the minister could not because it's subject to sub judice. It is not subject to sub judice. It is not before a court. The matter is not being heard in a court. The DG agreed to come in and do this meeting. Why? Because it is not sub judice. The DG has made statements with regards to what happened there. And we must remember one thing. We are not accountable to the minister or the DG. They are accountable to us. And we are entitled to responses with regards to what the DG has put out there and his opinion on how this matter was handled. We must get this report, and we must get it today. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Munyai.
Thank you very much for this important opportunity. Firstly, the ANC stance on corruption is publicly known. That whatever we say, we should not be used as if we are not against corruption. We're against corruption. But to suggest...
Sorry, point of order, Chair. Point of order, Chair.
What point of order, Honorable?
We are
Wilson?
all against corruption, Chair. This is a portfolio meeting.
No,
This is
no,
not
no,
a
no.
political meeting about political affiliations. It is about getting answers to all of us.
Honorable Wilson, allow the member to continue. He is expressing a particular party's against corruption. You can also say the same thing when you get an opportunity. That's not a point of order. Continue, Honorable Munyai.
Chair, let's agree. All of us can be hot. I want Honorable Wilson just to lower, to just because if she's behaving like that, everybody can behave like that, and it's going to mess up the meeting. Let's give everybody an opportunity, a chance to speak. Mr. Honorable Munyai was still on the floor, and she just
Honorable
interjected.
Sokacha, I'm still chairing this meeting. Thank you for your support. Nevertheless, please, Honorable Munyai, you are recognized. Continue your presentation.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. As I was saying that the ANC is anti-corruption. That is the ANC stance. So whatever we put forward before this meeting should not suggest that the ANC is not anti-corruption. The second thing, Honorable Chair, I don't want in the health meeting to argue on legal nuances, because that is not going to help, because we don't have legal minds here. But to suggest that the DG cannot have the same legal position or legal right like the minister, that cannot help us, Honorable Chair. The fact is that the Honorable DG is not here, and I'm sure he's afraid that whatever he say may be used against him in the court of law, because once anyone is reported before any police station or the Hawks, the police task mandate is to take the matter before the court after taking the statement. To suggest that the matter is not a court, we can argue here, do understand, until whatever the period. So for me, I think equally, the same DG have the similar rights with the minister, so that he does not want to incriminate himself. But I'm sure if he's here, he will speak for himself. Thank you, Honorable.
Okay. Munai, that part, I'll leave it to the DG. And I've just heard that he has challenged his logging in any time. And once he's logged in, honorable members, maybe we will look. Honorable members, those who have spoken, raise your hand down. Honorable Van Staden, Honorable Chiro. Let me now recognize Dr. Thembekwayo. But before you speak to Thembekwayo, after you to be Honorable Gela, let me say the DG is going to be logging in anytime now, please. So that part you can then not make reference to. He will be logging in shortly. Thank you. Honorable Dr. Thembekwayo and then Honorable Gela.
Can you also note me, Chair, please?
Also me, Chair, please.
Chairperson.
It will, okay, let me recognize these hands. Honorable Dr. Thembekwayo, Honorable Gela, Honorable Sokacha, and Honorable Ismail. Then
and
we then
Honorable Jacobs, thank you.
Honorable Jacobs, all the hands that are now going to speak should not be making any reference to where is the DG. Now the DG will be joining us shortly. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. We have a meeting today, and the agenda is as it is stipulated there. And that is the reason why we don't have to waste time. It's already 23 minutes past 8 and we are still making arguments so that we can't be able to listen to.
Dr. Thembekwayo?
Yes.
May I disturb you briefly? Unless you have a challenge where you are, can you switch on the camera from where you are, and all members who are going to speak to switch on their cameras, if it is possible from the connectivity space, okay?
Unfortunately, Chairperson, definitely I've got challenges. If I switch it on, then definitely I won't be able to be heard. And I can even be kicked out. So can you allow me to continue, please?
Accepted, Honorable Dr. Thembekwayo.
And then, like I said, we have a meeting today, and the purpose of the meeting is clear on the agenda, and it should be as it is. And I support what Honorable Naledi Chirwa has said to say, let the DG bring it on today, because we could not even get answers from the president when he was giving a speech on presidential vote one. So we need the information today. And I would also suggest that the DG must end in whatever he's saying with the Minister of Health, Dr. Zweli Mkhize, is busy resigning as the Minister of Health. Thank you. Thank you so much, Chairperson. I've said what I want.
Dr. Thembekwayo, sibambe ngokuthi DG is going to brief us. Now, singamfakeli uzosibriefa athini. Honorable Gela, and then followed by Honorable Dr. Jacobs. The last hand would be Honorable Ismail.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Please allow me not to switch on my video because of network connectivity. But Chairperson, I think the DG it's here is going to brief us about the matter. And I also fully support Honorable Munyai to say that the matter is being reported to the SAPS and also to SIU. And even our president yesterday, he responded to say still waiting for the SIU to conclude the matter. So I think as portfolio committee members, let's wait for the right time. The report will come, but also allowing the DG to give us that report if he has, but we are not above the law. And I think Comrade Munyai has put it very clear. We are anti-corruption. We are not going to allow that.
For record, he is Honorable Munyai, not what you called him for this meeting. Okay.
No, that's why I'm saying it's Honorable Munyai, Chair. It's Honorable Munyai, Chair. I fully support him, Chair. And we will continue to do the work as a portfolio committee, despite of the challenges that we are having, because we are here to serve the people of South Africa. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. No, it's me, Honorable Jacobs. Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Chair, look, let's not make, an issue out of a non-issue. You have correctly said that the DG is here. And secondly, thank you very much for calling this meeting. You have called the meeting just to make sure that no one is denied. There's no one that was denied, to make sure that we are not discussing the issue. Honorable Munyai was just raising the principle. What are the legal implications? And no one have said members are denied. For the mere fact that you called this meeting, we need to say thank you very much. You called the meeting to make sure that the portfolio committee members are not denied from discussing the issue. So let's not make a non-issue out of a non-issue. And also, Chair, I heard Honorable Shira saying we have decided that the Minister Long should resign. I don't know who are we. I don't know who are we. This portfolio committee have never taken the decision that Honorable.
But I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the EFF, and I made that very clear.
Oh no! I'm sorry.
If you're going to take a jab at me, please come correct. Come correct.
I'm sorry.
Come correct. Last year October,
hold on.
we called for Minister Zweli Mkhize to resign because of the Sakari.
Hold on here. Honorable Naledi Chirwa.
Because of people getting paid millions to take pictures. That's why we called for him to resign.
Honorable Chirwa.
Of course you won't as a portfolio committee. What you will do is kick me out of this meeting as you have done in the previous times.
Honorable Chirwa.
So if you're going to come at me sideways, you must come correct. Come correct.
You don't speak. Honorable Chirwa, you don't speak unless you are recognized. Do you remember that part? You don't speak unless you are recognized by the chair. Please then don't do it. Continue, Honorable Sokacha.
Thank you very much, Chair. I don't know how does Honorable Chirwa listens, because I said, if I heard him, I said, I'm sorry if I heard you wrong. That's what I said. I said, I'm sorry. Because you said we, and I didn't understand who do you refer to we. I thought you are saying to the portfolio committee. And I said, sorry. And I don't know why do you continue. I'm thought from my house and from my home. When somebody said sorry, he understands what you have said. So I'm saying the we that you use have confused me. And then you have explained it. So don't keep on talking. But what I'm saying, Chair, thank you very much for you having called the meeting. And you said the DG is here. Let's listen to what the DG is saying. And no one has been prevented from discussing this issue. Thank you very much.
Last two colleagues, it will be Honorable Ismail, and the last one, Honorable Dr. Jacobs.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning to everyone. I just, it's a matter of concern when these things rise just before a meeting, especially when a meeting is rushed because we need to go into a plenary. So I totally agree with my previous colleagues, Honorable Siviwe and Honorable Wilson. This matter is not sub judice. And it's not an issue presently to say that it's sub judice. We fully understand the law and the legal processes. Otherwise, we would not have discussed it today. I feel we as a portfolio committee are entitled to receive the report from the department. This report should have come to us way before anyway. So to put it on record, just like other honorable members are allowed to do, the Democratic Alliance is against corruption, and we always have been, and it is a known fact throughout the whole country. So the issue here, why we're discussing this and why this matter has been raised to this point where we are now actually, making a point of telling you on this platform that, we wouldn't have reached the stage of having so much discussion if the ANC is so much for anti-corruption. Why was the matter trying to be blocked in the first place? You called up a meeting, Chair. We're all in this meeting. We know we have a full day ahead of us. We're here because we're representatives of the citizens of this country. We all have we all have rights to be here. We are all elected representatives, and we do have legal advisors to this meeting. The DG is here, and I think it's time that we receive this report. That's all that is to it. Thank you.
Thank you. The last hand recognized, Honorable Dr. Jacobs.
Thank you, Chairperson. Let us first understand that you had called this meeting because you understood that we needed to get a presentation. We needed to get an understanding. So we're very thankful to you. And that you were not silent on the matter, that this matter is brought as the ANC chair here. And I know you're not representing the ANC as a chair, but as the portfolio committee. But since other members refer to their parties, the DA, the EFF, etc., I think it is only correct that I can also refer to the ANC having brought...
Point of clarity, Chair. Point of clarity, Chair. Honorable Munyai says
having brought this issue today, Chair.
I don't take point of clarities. I take point of order. I don't know. Continue,
Therefore,
Honorable
Chair,
Jacobs.
Well, point of order, Chair.
What point of order is that, Honorable Ismail?
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Jacob just said since other parties like the DA and the AFF, on behalf of the DA, I'm just putting it clear on the table. The issue was raised via Honorable Munyai when he mentioned that, in line with the ANC. So we're just putting it on clarity here. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Point taken. All parties are saying on behalf of, okay, let's start. Yeah, Honorable Jacobs, you omitted to say it also came in from the ANC. Thank you. Continue.
Yes, thank you, Chair, for the clarity also. But I just want to join, firstly, Honorable Sukacha, who says the DG is here, and Honorable Ismail. We should wait for the DG to come and do his presentation. Thank you very much for him for coming. And then we also need to be mindful that as the ANC, we support what Honorable Munyai had put forward, that the matter is sub judice, that there will be answers given in the future. The President had also stated very clearly that he is awaiting the outcomes of the SIU investigation. We must be mindful of that and the impact it would have if we were to discuss too many of these issues on this platform, and what that impact would be on any future investigations. So let us go straight over to listening to the DG, and we take it from there, Chair. Thank you.
DG, as I welcome you, let me just recap the purpose of this meeting. Sometime, I think about 3 weeks ago, the minister briefed us when the matter came up in the portfolio committee about Digital Vibes matter, and the minister said there are investigations that are going on, and the department is also going to support and also is going to comply and support the process of investigations. that part we accepted. Now, there was an issue that came up last week where there was a media release of the minister indicating that the report has been completed. And that report raised issues related to irregular appointment and irregular expenditure, part of it fruitless and wasteful expenditure. Now, I have just before you joined in indicated that the minister spoke to me that he will not be joining this meeting. However, he has delegated you to deal with the matters because the investigations are going on at another level, but even the report, the investigations will touch him. So rather, we do not get it. Legally, he has been advised not to join this meeting. Hence, the members have actually seemed to have accepted that all of them are saying, let us now get the DG to then take us through the report. I now invite you, Honorable Dr. Buthelezi, to then take this meeting into your report and discuss these issues with us. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, honorable members. First, let me start by apologizing. We have load shedding. I've actually had to move to another place so that I'm able to connect because the fiber is not working. I really apologize for joining very late. Honorable Chair and honorable members, firstly, the chairperson has apologized on behalf of the minister because the minister couldn't join this meeting as per the advice that he has received. But I would like maybe just to start backwards and say that as probably it's known and it's public news, that this matter is now with law enforcement agencies and I'm directly implicated in terms of the case that was apparently opened yesterday. So it will be very difficult to go into the details. But just to start, when I started in the department last year, and the Auditor General presented their report to us towards the end of the year last year, there were a number of issues that were raised by the AG. And one of those issues was the Digital Vibes matter, where they wanted the accounting officer to do further investigations of them on the matter. So it's not that matter only, there were other matters. So we then appointed a number of forensic firms to do some investigations, this one and the other matters. But I won't dwell on the other matters because they are not part of the agenda for this morning. But I just want the portfolio committee to be aware that we appointed more than one forensic firm to do work. And I must say that we then received the reports from the different forensic firms, including the forensic firm that did work on the Digital Vibes matter. But at the time whilst that investigation was taking place, the matter of Digital Vibes then became a matter of a media scrutiny. What then happened is that then the Special Investigating Unit then also took interest in the matter in terms of investigating specifically that matter, which we had already started investigating. Then on the 23rd of February, when this came up, I was contacted by the Special Investigating Unit on the matter, and I did inform them in writing that we are already advanced with the investigations on the matter. They said, no, they will continue to do the investigation as per the proclamation, which was done by the president. They then requested that I link them up with the forensic firm that is doing this investigation so that they can cooperate to avoid duplication. Of course, then with their proclamation, they have quite extensive powers beyond what the forensic firm can do. So I then linked them up, and then they then started working together on the investigation. Then fast forward, we then, of course, then the SIU then, of course, had to interview different people in the department. They summoned the documents through my office, which I had to get the documents to them. And then, of course, they interviewed different individuals. And they've also had meetings with me individually as the accounting officer. I've had personally 2 meetings to date with the special investigating unit. We then received the final report, the final draft report, and then the final report from our own forensic firm as the clients that we had appointed. Then that report, because now they had been working together, I then handed that report over to the special investigating unit. The similar report was handed to the president by our minister, so that the president, as the principal, could actually have sight of that report. However, in terms of implementing some of the implementing some of the recommendations in the report, I've been in contact with the SIU, and they've told me that they will be they are still working on that report because it's part now of their own investigation. Hence, we can't treat that report as a final report because for sure, I mean, they have extensive powers like summoning bank accounts and doing all the other issues which the forensic investigators did not have that. So that report, as much as it is final on administrative matters from the forensic firm that we are appointed, it's still not final. It's now with the SIU, and the SIU will be guiding me on the next steps in terms of implementing. Let me make an example. In terms of, if, for example, I'm making an example, if there's a recommendation that there's some money to be recovered, I might go ahead and try and recover those amounts. And I might find out that because the forensic firm did not have powers to summon bank accounts and all of that, it might not be the correct amount of money to be recovered. So hence, we've decided that we're not going to do much. Let's just wait for the SIU to finish their report. As the president has also mentioned in public and in parliament, that is waiting for that final report. It is at that time then we will be able to say the report is final. So where we are now, the report is not yet final until the SIU finalizes the other aspects in terms of the report. But I must say that, as mentioned by the minister publicly, the report does actually confirm that the awarding of the contract was regular, but there are still some other pieces then to be finalized, and then we'll be able to implement fully the recommendations, not on a piecemeal basis as we move forward. Then on the second matter is that now that the matter has been formally reported to the SAPS, I've also been guided by our attorneys of the department that I should refrain from any commenting on the report. Besides that, the report is with the SIU. It is only then when we've been given the green light by the SIU that we can start moving ahead in terms of internal disciplinary processes and the other issues that are there. Chair, that's where I would like to end. Once more, please accept my apologies. Maybe we should blame ESCOM for the load shedding. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. We would, on behalf of the committee, accept your apology for logging in late. And the matter, honorable members, is as now indicated by the DG that another limitation is what transpired yesterday in terms of also his open participation as an implicated person on the case that has been opened in Cape Town. Can I then recognize if there are members that would like to maybe please raise your hand on the platform, as I have not seen that there's a
I have
hand.
raised my hand, please, Chair.
Yeah, the Honorable Kwahube, Honorable
raised my hand.
Munyai. Yeah, let me read those that I've seen. Honorable Kwahube, 1, Honorable Munyai, number 2, Honorable Van Staden, number 3, Honorable Wilson, number 4. Those are the ones I've seen so far.
Can you also note me, Chair, Honorable Sokacha, please?
Honorable Sokacha, number 5, Honorable 6, Dr. Susan,
Me
Honorable
as well.
7 would be Kela, 8 would be Ismail. 9 would be Jacobs, Honorable Dr. Jacobs.
Chairperson, I'm not sure if you've also noted my hand.
Did you raise it? Oh, I didn't. All right. Okay. Okay. Number 9 is Dr. Oh, number 9 is 9 is the Honorable Chirwa. Number 10, Honorable Hlengwa, and number 11, Honorable Dr. Jacobs. Can you start, Honorable Kwahube, followed by Honorable Munyai?
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and thank you to the DG for that update. However, just a number of things, Chair, and perhaps you, before the DG also provides some clarity, you would need to provide some clarity here. My understanding is that an invitation was sent to the department, as we do, as they account to the committee, to come and present their internal report to us, including, I'm assuming, some of the findings that the Auditor General had on this matter. The invitation was then accepted by the department, and you then accepted the minister's apology and apology for not appearing before the committee, and instead then said the DG could come. And while I accept the DG's explanation that the forensic report now forms part of the SIU report, but there are other issues around the details around the awarding of this contract. And I'm more interested, Dr. Buthelezi, around particularly what were some of the flags that the Auditor General raised with the department? Because if I'm to understand correctly, that is something very different from the investigation, the internal investigation that was sanctioned by you. And I would like to understand what were some of the issues that the Auditor General had flagged with the problem with this contract, because I think it's important. Otherwise, then this meeting simply is just an update for the DG to come and say, well, I can't speak to you. And the notion that somehow laying off the charges in Cape Town yesterday is now creating a limitation for the DG to account to this committee is absolutely not true. Because ultimately, I really wish the members would acquaint themselves with the sub judice rule, because the sub judice rule is no reason for people not to account to the committee. And so a matter that's been reported to the police, as has been reported to the SIU, is not sub judice. It's not before a court of law. The definition is very clear. And so the fact that this matter has been reported to the police is as similar if it was reported to the SIU. And so there's absolutely no reason, if the DG had accepted the invitation to come and present here, then there's no reason why that case now that's been open must be used as an excuse why he can't say anymore. And particularly what I would like to understand from him is what were some of the findings by the Auditor General when it comes to this particular matter. I can accept that the forensic investigation now forms part of the SIU investigation, of which then you can't divulge any more further information, but I'm assuming that the Auditor General's findings are quite separate from that. Thank you.
Can I confirm the next one is Honorable Munyai?
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Chair of the session, Dr. Dhlomo. One, I would want to welcome the report or the update by the Director General of the Department of Health, National Department of Health, Shenge, and also the legal guidance provided for by the legal minds or the attorneys of the department in this regard. Because this is also helpful, that tomorrow people should not helter-skelter rush to the court opening up a case without evidence, so that they hope that through the DG, they'll get evidence that will enhance their cases or influence the political end. So this is very helpful so far as I'm concerned. I welcome this report, and I want us to adopt this report of the DG. Thank you.
Third one, is it Honorable Van Staden?
Thank you, Chairperson. Yeah, I think it's me, yes. So I will continue. Chairperson, I just want to know, and I think we must be honest with each other today here, is what is the working and the powers of this committee at this stage, or even at any stage of given time, As this case is concerning and other cases as well. We cannot just sit here as a portfolio committee and don't get any answers or any clarity on anything, and not to be allowed to ask questions, but not to get answers by the director generals or anyone from the departments because they say the matter is sub judice. I agree the matter is according, in my view, not sub judice simply because the Special Investigation Unit is still busy with their investigation. The matter is reported to the South African police, and it is not, I agree with my colleagues, it is not before the court of law yet. So this committee must be informed with every piece of bit of information that there is available, so that we can fulfill our responsibilities and our powers of what is dedicated to us, of what we as a committee must do. I want to put the following, Chairperson, and I think it is time for Minister Mkhize and the department to respond with honesty to the questions and allegations about Digital Vibes and the seemingly irregular appointments made in his office and his department. And lastly, Chair, I am imploring Minister Mkhize to step up now and to be honest with the people of South Africa by providing clarity. And this accounts for the department as well, to provide clarity on all these matters before the Special Investigation Unit issues its report at the end of June, as the report could have serious repercussions for the Minister and the Department of Health. We need to know as a portfolio committee what is going on, what is the questions, what was, like Member Grobe was saying, we need to know what the Auditor General's report was. We need to receive that information. Thank you, Chairperson.
I hope I'm correct now to recognize Honorable Sokacha.
No, Chair, Honorable Wilson.
Oh yes, they swap. Honorable Wilson and then Sokacha will come after. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Chairperson, and thank you to Dr. Buthelezi. Just a couple of things I'd like to reiterate. Number one, this is not a sub judice matter at this stage. Number two, to reiterate that the Minister and the DG are actually accountable to us as a portfolio. And I think we must always keep in mind who is accountable to who. We are accountable to the people of South Africa who elected us in this position, and they are entitled to answers as much as anybody else. However, DG, in terms of what you have said, and perhaps you can assist me in this matter, this Digital Vibes issue, I wrote questions to the Minister about several months ago. In his response to me, he clearly stated that the Digital Vibes contract had been funded via a deviation through the budget. Can the DG please advise, was this part of a deviation? We know that it was an irregularly awarded tender, but was the Minister misleading in telling me that it was done through a deviation? I have concerns about that because I object to being misled. And secondly, there are other, you know what, Chair, I've got another issue, but it relates to another matter also dealing with corruption and health, but I will keep that for another time. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Sokacha.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Let me just reiterate what I said. We want to thank you as the Chairperson for calling this meeting so that you make sure that the meeting is informed about this tender, and also making sure that no one is being excluded from making or raising points. The second thing, Chair, I also want to say thank you very much to the DG for the brief report. The DG have clearly outlined the limitations that he operates within since this thing has been reported to the law enforcement agencies. Chair, I'm sure all of us understand the rule of sub judice and issues. But the reality here is the case is under investigation. And if it's under investigation, anything you say can implicate you because it's under investigation. So what I'm trying to say, Chair, thank you very much for the DG for the report. And he has mentioned one issue that the report, as they have investigated it, that the tender is irregular. And I'm happy with that. It's irregular information that is giving us, that the tender is irregular. Now, my concern, Chair, is that, in fact, my view now will be, let's give the Special Investigation Unit the opportunity to carry on with the investigation and wait for the outcome of that investigation. Thank you very much, Chair.
Dr. Tembekwayo, Honorable Dr. Tembekwayo.
Thank you, Chairperson. I just want to say, I thought the DG would give us more information.
Can you adjust your camera, Honorable? We can see you so that you can see your chin. Yes, much better. That's it. Thank you.
I just wanted to say, Chairperson, I'm disappointed, really, because what I expected to hear from the DG, I didn't in actual fact hear. We are not interested in knowing what the forensic firm recommended about the example that he gave of the money being recovered or not. What we want to know is, as per agenda, how far they are and then everything, but that was not explicitly done. This is something that was done, and the minister is part and parcel of the actions that took place there. And then, like I said, I expected him to say to us, in the meantime, the minister is writing a resignation letter because he is involved in this matter. And I wonder why is the step aside issue, why is the step aside principle not applied here? I'm not convinced in anything. It was just a waste of an hour. Thank you.
Okay. Honorable Kela, I hope after Honorable Kela is Honorable Chirwa, isn't that so? Yeah, okay.
Yes, Chair. Thank you very much, Chair. I wonder bangena people step aside Tibona in a lighter note, Chair, because that is not their issue.
When I'm not talking to you, when you just shut up, man. Don't address me
thank you very much, Chairperson. No.
Shut up, man.
Kahle. Honorable Tembekwayo, Dr. Tembekwayo, hold on.
No. I never mentioned anything about her. I was addressing the DG. She must never address me.
No, the DG
has never.
Step aside.
Honorable Tembekwayo. Honorable Tembekwayo, you will come into the platform if I have recognized you, Dr. Tembekwayo. You will come and speak only if I have recognized you. I have not
point of order, Chairperson,
I have not recognized you, Dr. Tembekwayo.
Please recognize me. Recognize me now.
Yes. What is your point? What is your point, Dr. Tembekwayo?
Can I proceed, Chair?
Continue, Honorable Kela.
Chairperson, let me also thank you very much for convening this meeting so that as portfolio members, we get the briefing from the DG. Thank you very much, DG, for the briefing. And also, Chairperson, I think now we understand where the matter is. And also, as the DG said, the report, it's now in SIU. I think as portfolio committee members, let's respect that and leave the matter because it's still under investigation until the right time where it will convene us as portfolio committee members. Chairperson, but I'm very thankful for you to call this meeting. And also, Chairperson, I think let me leave in that note that we'll wait for you again as a chairperson. But I must say, I'm very happy that you are very transparent and also taking us members with a confidence that we must be updated with everything, every matters that come to our portfolio meeting. We'll respect the decision, and the DG doesn't have to answer all these questions. We'll wait for the right time, Chairperson, as
You
honorable.
don't have the right to say that.
As
Point
honorable.
of order, Chair. Point
as
of order.
honorable,
Yeah, point of order, Chair, also. He
Point
has
of
no
order.
right.
Point of order, Chairperson, please.
Point of order.
Point of order, Chairperson.
Can't have so many point of orders. I recognize
Yes, we
Honorable
can.
Wilson. Honorable Wilson.
And me too.
With all due respect, Chairperson, the Honorable Geller has no right to dictate what the DG will answer and what he will not. Her statement is out of order. She is not chairing this meeting, and she does not have the right to make statements that the DG does not have to answer these questions. I'm sorry,
order,
I
Chair.
object.
Okay.
Point of order, but that is the role of the chairperson. That is
No,
the role
you
of the
can't speak
chairperson.
for Natso Kacha. I'm the
Point of-
second to speak.
Point of order, Chair.
Honorable
Chairperson.
Kela. Honorable Kela. Honorable
Point of order,
Kela.
Chair.
Chair,
May I please request you to withdraw that the DG should or may not answer questions. Let's withdraw that, please.
I withdraw, Chair, but I
Thank you
think
very much.
we have
No,
we
no,
are
withdraw.
briefed as the
Withdraw.
portfolio committee members,
Honorable Chair.
and we are noting that briefing.
Yeah, that's
Chairperson.
continued briefing. Yes.
Honorable Chair.
Have you finished, Honorable Kela?
Yes, Chairperson, thank you very much, Chair.
Okay.
I'm
thank you.
rising on point of order, Chair.
A point of order, yes.
The order is the following, Honorable Chair, that any member of this portfolio committee, as per a guideline you read earlier before you start the meeting, can express his or her views. So, I mean, that should be regarded as the view of the honorable member because
No. Honorable Munyai, I've ruled on that point, and I've actually asked the member to withdraw, and she has withdrawn. Let's go past that point now. She has withdrawn. Honorable Ishmael, Chirwa, who's coming between Chirwa, I don't know how Chirwa and Ishmael, who comes first?
I think it is me, Chairperson. I'm not-
Honorable Chirwa, and then Ishmael, sorry, you come after Honorable Chirwa. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Firstly, you know, the right to remain silent is for accused persons during a criminal trial or proceedings. There currently isn't anything as such, except for the investigation by the SIU. So, and Honorable Van Staden had called for the legal department to be a part of this meeting. We haven't gotten an update in regards to that because this portfolio committee is being rendered useless. And if there's anything that this meeting particularly confirms or justifies, is that the call for Minister Zweli Mkhize to step down is then justified in effect. He obviously can no longer do his job together with the DG. In previous meetings where I was kicked out by the portfolio chairperson, where we consistently raised and asked for accountability in regards to digital vibes and PPE corruption, as per the AG's report, this portfolio committee silenced the matter in various ways, even to the extent of removing members of this portfolio committee meetings from the platforms in protection of the minister and the NTOH. Minister Zweli Mkhize is unable to fulfill his constitutional obligations to account to this portfolio committee. He's unable to do media interviews. He's unable to even engage his constituency. And in effect, has also affected us, the rest of us, who are not involved in corruption scandals, who didn't pay people millions of rest to take pictures of us in doing our jobs. Now we can't do our jobs as a portfolio committee of health. Why then should we continue with this meeting if the Minister of Health and the DG can't do their job and we also can't do our job because they can't do their job? This country and all of us cannot be held at ransom by criminal dealings of ministers and executive members who can't even fulfill their obligations and be available for parliamentary processes in the interest of being held
Honorable Chirwa, you know that the rules are saying you must substantiate that thing that we have just said about ministers.
Criminal dealings.
You must substantiate that by the motion. You can't.
Chairperson, can I just speak and be allowed to speak? You are doing that thing all over again. Like
No,
angazi
no.
why makumele ukhulume mina, kumele nje nizifake all the time. I'm a
The
portfolio
rule-
committee member of this PC. Allow me to speak and raise my views.
The rules are that you cannot make that sweeping statement about ministers without a substantive motion. That's what I'm saying.
You mean the assertion of criminal dealings?
There could be allegations. You have not proven that to bring.
I'm talking
a
about the
motion.
AG report. So, Chairperson, when contracts are done irregularly, when PPEs are done criminally, or that people are given contracts when they don't even deserve them, and processes are not followed, and that results in money being squandered, being irregularities happening in the NTOH, there is nothing that should be cordial about this conversation. It is criminal, and we cannot silence ourselves and no longer be emotive because it makes you uncomfortable as a chairperson or this portfolio committee. There's nothing not criminal about what has happened. The AG has came to this portfolio committee meeting. All of you were in agreement. All of us were in agreement. We even wanted the NGO to come to
Point of order. Hold on, Honorable Chira. There's a point of order called by Honorable Jacobs.
Chair, I want to call on the rule that you have just alluded to. When a member makes a statement such as something being criminal or a person being criminal, then it has to be substantiated with a motion. And if not, I would ask Honorable Chirwa, please, through you, Chair, to withdraw that statement. Thank you.
Honorable Chirwa, I've advised you. Don't say this is a criminal act. You're not a lawyer. You're not a criminologist.
Corruption. Does that sound
Allegations.
better? Corruption, corrupt dealings by the minister and the NTOH in regards to digital vibes and PPE. Does that make you feel better, Chairperson? Can I continue?
No, you must call it with the parliamentary language. It is
Also,
alleged
but you guys are able to talk about corruption, but I can't. I can't say
alleged-
corruption.
No.
I can't say the word
Honorable Chirwa-
corruption.
Honorable Chirwa, let's not debate this. When you are actually
Exactly.
raising-
Let me speak and finish and then continue with the meeting. There's no meeting to start with because we can't even engage the report.
Honorable
Because people
Chirwa-
can't show their face because they're being investigated for corruption. They're being investigated for
Chirwa-
corruption.
Honorable Chirwa, the basic rules of parliament is that if the chairperson speaks, you keep quiet. Do you know that part? Now, I am saying to you, parliamentarily, you say alleged corruption by the minister because you have not proven unless you bring a motion. That is how you will coin your statements. Otherwise, you withdraw. You say alleged corruption, which is something that still has to be proven, and you are right, by a court of law and whoever. So that is the language that is used in parliament. You know that part. And that's
Why
what
then
I'm
do
saying.
you call the AG and the NTOH if there's an alleged corruption and not corruption that's happening in the NTOH? This portfolio committee is doing precisely what it's not meant to do. You're not doing your work. And even the AG's report had even stated this, that even this portfolio committee is also complicit in what is happening in the NTOH because you fail to hold the executive accountable as a portfolio committee. Now you want to silence a simple thing, corruption. It's been said in this portfolio committee one and many times because you want me to say alleged. Okay, allegedly. It does not change the fact that there is the Minister of Health, the DG of Health cannot speak to us because they are being investigated for corruption. That is a fact. They can't speak. There's no meeting because they are being investigated for corruption. Why then must we continue with all of this? I can't do my job. You can't do our job. No PC member in this portfolio committee meeting can do our jobs because the Minister of Health and the DG can't speak. Who must we speak to then?
Honorable Naledi, I was speaking to the legal people this side. Now, Honorable, I did not recognize the hand of Honorable Sokacha. What is that point of order, Honorable Sokacha?
Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Shira, you have time and again calling her to order. She speaks as if she's falling from a tree. She's blaming everybody. You are not holding the executive to account. You are not doing this. She's part of this committee, and all of us are part of this committee. And for the mere fact that you called the meeting clearly indicates you know your responsibilities. She must not speak as if she's falling from a tree here. Thank you very much, Chair.
Point of order, Chairperson.
Thank you, Sokacha.
Honorable Dr. Tembekwayo, you cannot call a point of order while there's another member on the platform calling for a point of order and is addressing the chair, and there's a speaker that was actually asked to hold on. Now, what are you doing? We must recognize you or Dr. Or Honorable Chirwa, or you can't call a point of order when there's another point of order on it. I
Can I
take
be
that as a-
recognized after you have spoken, Chairperson?
Yes, what is your point, Thembekwayo?
I would like to request Honorable Sokwacha to cancel what he said, falling from a tree. An honorable member falling from a tree. Please, Chairperson, that cannot be said.
Honorable
That cannot
Sokwacha-
be said.
Honorable
about
Sokwacha,
Honorable
did you
Chair.
say the member is falling from the tree?
Yeah,
said it
no,
twice.
not that.
He
no, thanks,
repeated
Honorable.
it.
He
No,
said it
wait,
twice.
wait, let me.
Dr.
The chair is trying
Thembekwayo.
to find out from me.
Dr.
Chair, can I
Thembekwayo.
give a medical explanation for that, what it means falling from a tree, please?
Chair,
Dr. Thembekwayo,
Chair,
I
can
have
we get
not
order to this
recognized-
meeting, please?
I have
Chairperson,
not
order to this
recognized
meeting.
you. I have asked you, Dr. Thembekwayo, you have explained it. Now I've given the platform to Honorable Sokwacha to explain this matter. Honorable Sokwacha, please.
No, Honorable Chairperson, I said it and I withdraw that statement. I was trying to say that the honorable member is blaming everybody. That is what I was trying to say, as if she's not part of this committee. Thank you
Point
very much.
withdrawn.
I withdraw.
Honorable Chirwa. Point is withdrawn. Honorable Chirwa, continue.
Yeah, and what Sokwacha is saying, what Honorable Sokwacha is saying is very important. He's saying as if I'm not part of this portfolio committee meeting. On 3 occasions, I was kicked out of this portfolio committee meeting on this platform with you guys watching. So in effect, what you're saying is actually very true. I was not part of those portfolio committee meetings because you kicked me out because I was trying to hold the minister accountable and the Department of Health accountable. This before the SIU investigation, even last year already, when it was still 82 million, before it even jumped to 150 million, we already asked the Minister of Health, why are you paying people millions to take pictures of you? So let's not act like we don't know, we don't have historical context of what has been happening in this portfolio committee meeting. But what we should always be honest about is the fact that even with what is happening today, this portfolio committee meeting, this portfolio committee has been rendered useless by the Minister of Health and the NTOH and the DG. Why did they not set the Deputy Minister of Health? Why did they not send other executives in the Department of Health? Why should we now be held at ransom and not be able to engage something that is of vital importance, of national importance, just because 2 people are implicated in corruption scandals? Now the whole parliamentary process must collapse because Minister Zweli Mkhize and the DG are implicated in corruption scandals. They can't speak. Now we can't speak, get back to them. And then we have to be silenced because we didn't use the word alleged. It is a fact. They are saying they can't speak because they're being investigated for corruption. It is them who are saying that. The minister's not on this platform because he's being investigated for corruption, for crime. He's being investigated for crime. You are also noting the fact that there's a criminal case opened yesterday, but you don't want us to speak about it as a criminal offense. Why then must we speak about these things and also massage their feelings because now it is somebody else who's not speaking and not you? Let's take cognizance of the fact that there's a historical context to this portfolio committee meeting. You have abused members of this portfolio committee meeting, and I'm speaking of myself in this particular situation because on countless occasions you have kicked me out. Because on countless occasions, Chairperson, you have asked for my mic to be muted. You have asked for me to be kicked out when I was engaging the DG, when I was engaging the Minister of Health, when I was engaging the Deputy Minister of Health. It is not something that is not recorded. It is in minutes. There's
This
video
has got
footage
nothing
of
to
that,
do
of
with
me
this
being
meeting.
kicked out because I
This
am
has got
holding
nothing to
the
do with this
executive accountable. I
Point
won't
of
even be
order,
surprised
Chair.
if you do it again.
Point of
Point
order.
of order,
Honorable-
Chair.
Point of order, yes, Chair.
Yes. Honorable
Chair,
Dr.
I
Jacobs.
ask for point of order.
Dr. Jacobs, you are recognized. Point of
Honorable
order.
Chilwas used the words criminal offense. Can she please withdraw if she had said alleged criminal offense in the context of a case that was made yesterday by Honorable Wahube? One would still understand it, but she did not say alleged. She said criminal offense.
Honorable
But
Chirwa.
Chair, you know, when a car is on a hill and it doesn't have brakes, it runs down the hill and it picks up momentum.
Okay,
and
I
it
can
just running
continue. Let's stop the
faster.
analogy.
I
Stop the
understand why
analogy.
you
I'll
why
continue.
you
You want me to
order,
ignore the
Chair.
way?
when
Point
she
of
uses
order.
all of the
Allegedly.
brakes and she just
Allegedly.
doesn't about
Allegedly. Chairperson, can I
Can we
continue?
Can we get
Allegedly.
order in this meeting, Chairperson? We cannot carry on like this. I call this meeting.
I'm on
that
the
you
floor,
order.
Chairperson.
Please call
Allegedly.
this meeting to order, Chair. Please.
Okay.
Allegedly. Can I continue?
Honorable Chirwa.
Dr.
Honorable
Doma,
Chirwa-
Allegedly.
Dr.
Allegedly.
Doma, may I please raise a point of order, please?
No, I'm not going to take that point of order, Kwakube. Hold on now. Honorable Chirwa,
Yes,
I
Chairperson.
have reminded you that the parliamentary language is that
Lovely, just
if
wait.
you don't have a motion, we call it allegations. Okay.
Yes, allegedly. Thank you,
Stay
Chairperson.
with
Allegedly.
that because if you don't, then you are not. I'm not going to correct you again. Just stay on
Thank you,
that path.
Chairperson.
Yes.
Thank you very
continue.
much.
But wrap up
Anyway,
now.
I-
because-
I would like to raise a point of order, please, Chair.
A point of order, Honorable Wilson. A point of order. I recognize you, Honorable Wilson.
Dr. Doma, may I please raise a
Sorry,
point?
Chair, I was unmuted and I'm battling to get back on. Chair, I think we need to take cognizance of a couple of points here. And that is number one, what is the role of us as a portfolio and our positions in Parliament? Parliament can conduct its own inquiry, regardless of whether a matter is before the courts or not. That is the power of Parliament.
Honorable
That's number
Wilson.
one. And if the
Honorable
minister has
Wilson.
chosen to avoid appearing before this committee, he has sent out a message. So, you know, this, I think this is what we are dealing with. And I think Honorable
Wilson.
Chilredi is quite
Wilson.
correct.
Honorable Wilson, that's not a point of order. That is an addition to what we are supposed to raise then. That's not a point of order, Honorable Wilson. No, not a point of order. Therefore, I will stop you there. Honorable Chirwa, have you finished?
No, I have not finished.
Yes.
But
You
I'm
must wrap
wrapping
up
up.
now because there are other
Yes.
members after you also want to make a contribution. Okay.
All right, Chairperson. No, I'll leave it here. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Let me address this point at this time. Any member of this committee who's aggrieved by being kicked out by the chairperson of the National Assembly would know what to do. So I'm not going to pause. If you think that I did not follow rules in kicking out any member in this portfolio committee, you then have a rules. You have rules to follow and you know the procedures. So I'm not going to even address that part because any member that I, as a chairperson, have actually even kick out, I said, switch off that mic and never allow that member ever again in that meeting was because I was following the rules of Parliament. Honorable Ismail, your chance.
Thank you, Chair. I would just like to say good morning to the DG. DG, we fully understand, you know, the ESCOM rollout, the rolling blackouts are affecting all of us negatively, where we can't even show our faces on this platform due to connectivity issues because of the ESCOM load shedding. Chair, I must say, firstly, you know, I think the issue has risen initially from the fact that Minister Mkhize has sent you an apology for not attending this meeting due to ABCDE. But I feel personally that you should have come to the portfolio committee to, you know, to ask us our input on this matter, because seriously, you know, this matter is something that we need addressed by the minister and the DG of the National Department of Health. This portfolio committee is so important at this time of the pandemic, and we really can't afford to have this irregular awarding of contracts and all the other allegations of corruption is just eating away at budgets that we don't have sufficient for to really carry out the mandate of the National Department of Health. This is really, you know, it's unnecessary. It's something that we as a country cannot afford. Now we, you know, Chair, really, this meeting is really so disappointing and it's falling apart simply because you call up a meeting, we're all here, we take the time out to have this meeting, and then we have the DG here, and the DG tells us, you know, we can't answer on A, B, C, D, E. Now, I'm going to stress again what my fellow colleagues have asked. We need a full report from the DG on the AG report. We know the AG report says clearly the Digital Vibes contract was overpriced and it was awarded irregularly. You know, amongst the DG, I would like you to answer me this question, please. There are allegations of the Digital Vibes even charged the Department of Health millions of rands for scheduling Minister Mkhize's media briefings, interviews, and other public engagements related to the COVID-19 pandemic. DG, can you please reply to me? Is this true or is this not true? Chair, you know, we really need a transparent and accountable department, and we really need a transparent and accountable government. I will leave it there, Chair. Thank you.
Mama Shengwa.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you to the DG for this, for coming here and explain some issues on us. But in terms of the AG's report, we are very disappointed, and we have iterated the report now and again for irregular expenditure. In this department, we need clarity of all that, because these are the monies who must serve the people who are dying out there. We need the truth and nothing else but the truth, the only truth, because people out there are waiting for the truth in this committee to come out and say what is happening in the department. Therefore, DG Shenge, we need the truth and nothing else in this matter, so that we serve the people of South Africa in a very, we serve the people of South Africa so that these people will know us better. Abantu base South Africa basethembe ukuthi njengoba basibeke lapha Shenge, sibamele, siyabazwela, siyabalalela izimfuno zabo. Awungathi-ke leyo nkeshezana yemali encane bese kuthiwa ihambe nje ngendlela engabonakali. Siyalidinga lelo qiniso Shenge. I thank you.
Mashasha. Honorable Dr. Jacobs.
Thank you, Chairperson. I just want to thank you that again you had authorized, you had used your authority to call this meeting. Now, I also agree that we need answers. We need the truth to be put out there. We can read in the media statements. We can hear about what is being raised here. But unfortunately, a particular member of this portfolio committee went to the court, went to a police station yesterday and laid a criminal charge. And that is the basis of where we're sitting now. The question that must be asked is, does anyone who say anything now infringe their own right to a fair trial, which is entrenched in section 35(3) of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, 1996. And that is where our challenge is now. There would generally be a real and a substantial risk that adverse pre-trial media publicity concerning a pending criminal case in South Africa would violate the accused's rights to be presumed innocent, and also that accused's right to be tried before an impartial court. And I think that is basically where we sit when we sum this up. Yes, we need the answers. We've heard about everything that is raised here, but it has shifted since yesterday to something else today. And we must be mindful of that fact, and we cannot force people to come here in the light of having heard this and it being publicly put out there that a criminal case had been laid. I think that sums up everything that we ought to be doing today, Chairperson. Thank you.
Yeah, honorable members, thank you. Honorable members, while chairing this meeting, I was speaking to the Secretary of the Portfolio Committee to get me the legal advice from Parliament with regard to some of the issues that you honorable members have raised. And I spoke to the legal person to say, Dr. Jomo, I can't without you briefing me properly how to respond. So there was no way honorable members will invite a legal person into the platform right now as we are engaging without a proper prior briefing and expect the legal person to give us an advice. So that is what we discussed outside this meeting. May I get the response from the DG? We did agree that he will come back before we wrap up. Dr. Buthelezi, are you now on load shedding again?
No. I'm here, Chair. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair Dinangwe, and thank you very much to all the honorable members for all the concerns and the comments, which we really do understand where the members are coming from in terms of their responsibility as giving oversight to the functioning of the department. I must say that it's not that the members won't be getting the questions, but I think it's rather a matter of time, so that as have been requested, we don't prejudice the investigation of the SIU, which is now the supreme investigation above our own investigation. But as we mentioned, administratively in the department, as we've mentioned that there was irregularity, but also we have started even with some administrative processes like reporting on the regular expenditure to Treasury as per the provisions of the Public Finance Management Act. And we want to assure this committee that once we have a final complete report, we will implement it fully without fear nor favor from the SIU. We will leave the criminal issues aside, which will take their own course as per the Criminal Procedures Act, so that they are followed. On the issue of the Auditor General report, the Auditor General report is public, and I'm happy that the Honorable Member Wilson has mentioned that she actually did even ask the question based on the Auditor General report, which shows that the Auditor General report, the members do have the sight of that report. And we did respond to that parliamentary question specifically in relation to digital vibes. So I was not aware that then probably we need to come back and present that report, because we were of the view that the members have had sight of that report, and as actually evidenced by the fact that some members have asked specific parliamentary questions to the department on that particular report. But I must mention that, as the member mentioned, one of the key issues that report raised was the issue of overcharging of the contract, which specifically we have a specific instruction from the SIU that that's one of the areas that they are investigating. And in addition to the irregularity, they are looking at the actual charging. So, and they will give us, they are working on the figures, following money, they're doing all those issues. Hence, we've given them a chance. And I believe that obviously, if the members want more detail, if I'm not wrong, I'm fairly sure Dinangwe, the committee can actually ask the SIU to do a direct briefing. But from where we are, because they are investigating this, we don't want to prejudice the investigation as a department, as also it involves investigating some of the staff members that were part and parcel of the awarding of the contract and all that work, of course, which precedes my time. So would really request, and I'm on my knee, Chair, that we allow the processes to go so that there is a complete report sanctioned by, finally including the SIU that then comes to the members, rather than preempting some of the issues as they might be incomplete. We are cooperating 100%. I've personally had meetings, as mentioned, with the SIU, and I've been, as late as 2 days ago, I was in discussion with the SIU on some of the matters, and they've promised me that they are moving as fast as they can. So we must just give them some time as a department and not rush into some of the issues. Thank you very much, Chair. I'll probably stop there for now.
Honorable members, we will be closing and moving into the House in the next half an hour. I want to thank all those members who have actually really supported that I called this meeting to deliberate on this matter, and also to plead with those who thought we wasted an hour. It was not, because we as a portfolio committee doing oversight on this department had to get the department to come in. I could not have anticipated what limitations they would have in expanding to give us all what other members would have wanted to. And I respect what they are saying because of the guidance by the legal team. And I would also wish that we probably support that. And the matter of, he says it's a matter of time. This is what the DG is saying in his closing remarks. And I would hope that the DG will own up to that and be able to give us that assurance that these things will be attended to and be brought to our attention quite early. I would concede that not all of you would have wanted to get what you want. You wanted more, but there are legal constraints that have been brought in by the processes, and the issue that it is now with the SIU and wrapping up and needing this report as part of their supplementary investigations is some of the things that we hear. You might not have wanted to hear that part, but at least this update is assisting us to know where are things and how soon will things be wrapped up. And I would then leave it at that, honorable members, and say we would like to then bring this meeting to a close.
Excuse me,
Sorry,
Chair,
Chair.
some questions that the group has, a number of members want to ask.
Who is the number? Who is the number of members? Let me give you. I don't know who are those who would like to ask. I didn't look at the.
No, I mean, Chair, it's more of a comment on my side.
Honorable Kwahube, you are recognized. Yes.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, and I note what the Director General has said. I do want to caution us all as colleagues that we are mandated by the Constitution, and we have an obligation to not protect people from being able to account to this committee. And today's meeting underscored exactly what was pointed out in the Zondo Commission, that Parliament has been complicit in state capture. And this morning, we also did that, in the sense that none of us we weren't able to sing in unison to be able to say, these are the things that we are demanding from the department. We were here jostling and fighting political wars when in fact we should have been singing from the same song sheet. So it's extremely disappointing that we're repeating the same mistakes of the 5th Parliament in this very meeting on these very issues. And the country will judge us harshly, Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Honorable Wilson.
Honorable Wilson.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Sokhacha.
My hand is also up, Chair, please.
And mine also, Chair.
Mine also, Chair.
Honorable members, we can't start the whole hand. I will stop at a particular hand. Is Honorable Kwahube has spoken, Honorable Wilson has spoken, there will be Honorable Van Staden and Honorable Sokhacha after that.
I also raised my hand early
raised
before them, sir.
And we should have like a fair
It was the
representation.
first to raise a hand. Kwahube was given an opportunity, sir. Honorable Chair.
I was wrapping up the meeting and I did not even look at the platform that people were raising hands. I will not ask you to speak for more than a minute. Honorable Kwahube has said it. Honorable Wilson, you are number 2. Honorable Munai, you are number 3. No, none of you will speak for more than a minute. Honorable Van Staden, you are number 4. Honorable Sokhacha, you are number 5. Who else is there?
I'm here.
I'm also here, Chairperson.
Honorable.
I'm also here, Chair.
Honorable Dr. Tembega, you are number 6. Honorable Chiro 7, and the last head will be Honorable
And
Gala.
Comrade Jake and Honorable Jacobs is last, number 8.
Jacobs. I want honorable members. If you
And
speak for
Honorable
more than-
Ismail, number 9.
If you speak for more than a minute, honorable members, I will then take you out. I mean, some of you members have been saying this was that was wasted. Now we are coming back again and we are close to starting the parliamentary
I
sitting.
said that, Chairperson.
But now you want us to come up again. Honorable Wilson, come through.
Thank you, Chairperson. And I'm supporting what the Honourable Kwarubi said. And our roles as parliamentarians and the role of Parliament cannot be undermined. Parliament is entitled to conduct its own internal investigation. And that is one of the vital roles we play, as is oversight. And this is an oversight function. And when there is lack of transparency, it sends out a very, very bad signal to the country as a whole. But in closing, Chairperson, and I'm going back to the DG. DG, I asked in the response to my written question as to how and through what budget Digital Vibes was paid. The response to my written question from the minister was that it was done through a budget deviation, through a deviation process. Was this correct? Were deviations done? We are entitled to know that, because if I, as a member of parliament, was
Honorable
misled,
Wilson,
I
your
have
minute
to
is
take
finished.
further action. Thank you.
Your minute is finished. Honorable Munyai.
Chair, the first thing is that this is not Zondo Commission, it's a portfolio committee. Its mandate is clear from the Zondo Commission. And the matters of irregularities, these are the task of the AG. So one of the key issues, Honorable Chair, when the meeting is closed, close the meeting. Don't open for any further comment, because we'll end up like this. Please, Chair.
Okay. Honorable Van Staden.
Chairperson, thank you very much. On the last note of me this morning, I'm very disappointed in the way the meeting was conducting this morning, and the way the members, some of the members responded shouting on each other. I don't think we can do our work as a portfolio committee in a matter like this. We need to get answers on these matters, and we need to get the answers like in yesterday. We can't carry on like this as a portfolio committee, that people are coming in front of a committee and don't provide us with the necessary answers we need. What is our role as a portfolio committee then in parliament if we do not get for answers? We need to get for answers, Chairperson, and we need to get it like in yesterday. We need to get up to date with each and every aspect of this case in this matter. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you. Honorable Sokacha.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Let me again thank you for calling this meeting, for you to make sure that we exercise our parliamentary responsibility. But what I want to say, Chair, let's not put perimeters around the department and expect them to jump over those perimeters. We, as some of the members, have put perimeters around the department, and the DG have clearly outlined that he's operating under strict perimeters. And I really want to thank the DG and yourself for calling this meeting. Thank you very much.
Honorable Dr. Tembegwayo.
Thank you, Chairperson. I just want to say that this was a clear indication that we as a committee of health can never be able to talk in one voice to bring the National Department of Health to account. That's why I feel that the whole National Department of Health must fall. Thank you.
Honorable Chirwa.
Thank you, Chairperson. I just have one concern. Firstly, if the Minister of Health and the DG cannot speak when a case has been opened, what then happens if it's actually pursued by the NPA and goes for trial and all those things? Are we still going to be held at ransom until people's cases are concluded as such? And secondly, I think there must be an honesty in this portfolio committee meeting, particularly in regards to other members being silenced over the past few months. It has happened countless times, and I'm not saying something that we all don't know of. People have been getting kicked out of platforms because
I'm not going to take that point ever again. I've addressed that point. Move on to another point. I'm not going to allow you to continue on that point. We have made a mention of that point, and I addressed.
Okay, sharp. I'm saying next time don't kick me out because I'm holding people accountable. Thank you.
Honorable Kela.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Chairperson, I think I was covered by Honorable Munyai to say that you have concluded the meeting, but also, Chairperson, the other issue that I want to say, I'm also very disappointed with the manner that the opposition party behave in this portfolio committee, because you are always calling us as portfolio committee members and brief us. I think they must.
Who are you to be disappointed?
I'm disappointed you, Dr. Tembegwayo.
You are not going to shut up.
You must also fall. You must also
get disappointed in corruption.
You must fall and get out of the health.
We're not
disappointed by corruption.
We are very proud about the department. They are doing their work very well. That's why you are
they are doing corruption very well.
You are also corrupt. You are also corrupt.
You are also corrupt.
Talk about corruption if you are not corrupt. You must also fall.
We must not talk about corruption. Are you hearing yourself? Are you hearing yourself, Honorable
We will talk about corruption until it's
I'm
out.
saying thank you very much, Chairperson.
Get disappointed all you want. We are representing constituency.
Go
We are
and
not
read your
you.
books, Anna.
And keep it up with the work, the good work that you are doing, Chairperson. And I know that you are going to call us as portfolio committee members. And also, thank you very much, DG, for availing yourself and brief us as portfolio committee members. It's very clear that you are not hiding anything. So EFF must fall.
Honorable,
ANC must fall.
Focus, honorable. Corruption. We're dealing with corruption here. Okay, let's
fall. Anagela must fall.
What rudeness is this now?
Can you mute the phone of Honorable Chirwa? She has heard her point and she comes back to Honorable Dr. Tembekwayo.
Point of order, Chairperson.
That's before
Point of
you.
order.
You don't have a point of order.
You need to
Honorable
protect us as the chairperson.
Honorable
For us,
Chirwa.
people are calling for us to fall and you say nothing as a chairperson. You say nothing. How?
Honorable Chirwa.
You started that, Dr. Tembekwayo, you started that. I was responding to Dr. Tembekwayo to say the department must
Honorable
fall.
Gela,
You are not the department, Gela.
You said all of us we must
You are
fall.
not
That's
the
why I was
department, Gela.
responding.
You are not the department.
Van Staden was assisting you to say, please do recognize that you are called honorable members and you need to actually respect that. I did not recognize Honorable Chirwa and Honorable Dr. Tembekwayo when Honorable Gela was actually speaking. And they did not come in, they just spoke. They didn't even ask for a point of order. And therefore, I couldn't even recognize them. Let us not do that, honorable members. Let us continue to respect this parliamentary house. And as I indicated when we started, Honorable Dr. Jacobs.
Thank you, Chair. Very shortly, I want to reiterate that the member had jumped the gun to go and lay criminal charges. Therefore, the DG and the minister has the right to do what they are doing to make certain that they don't infringe their own rights according to the Constitution, Section 35(3) of our Constitution. I want to reiterate that. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Ismail.
Thank you, Chair. I want to just put on record that I also agree with what Honorable Siviwe has stated previously. As members of Parliament and members of this portfolio committee, we are here to do oversight on this department, and I feel we are not allowed to do our jobs properly. Chair, we need accountability from this department, and by saying that we will wait for it, we have to, it's going to come and we will wait for it. Unfortunately, some things can't wait. We need these things urgently. Our country is facing a pandemic that is really taking lots of lives. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable members, also listening is a skill. I said I have not been able to speak and brief the legal team of the portfolio of Parliament with regards to this matter. But however, we need to recognize and say there is a matter that is not within our own space. The limitations as raised by Honorable Sokacha, we respect them. We don't have a way to actually rule on that. And if there's a fear and a concern by the department to say they can speak so much because the report is there, let's respect that until we get our legal opinion to rule on that. So I don't think and share the view that this was a wasted 1 hour. The meeting did take place, and what we actually got, we did. Whatever limitations that the department has, we recognize that and respect that. And therefore, the meeting is brought to a close. Have a good day as you debate in the National Assembly in the next 10 minutes. Thank you very much. The meeting is here now again.
Thank you, Chair.
Recording stopped.
Long live the
will
peace.
fall. Zwelim Kize will fall. All these corrupt
You
gongos
will fall. You will fall.
They will fall.
Gela, you must fall. And ANC must fall. And everybody who's against us must fall.